Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist. Hello, AfterBuzzers. Welcome to another edition of our Face Off After Show, Season 8, Episode 9, Miss Intergalactic. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Also, check us out on iTunes and on SoundCloud by searching AfterBuzz TV. And be sure to tweet us with all of your comments about our show and about Face Off in general. Use the hashtag ABTVFaceOff so that we can find you. I'm Alana Jordan. You can find me on Twitter at Alana Jordan. And today I am joined by all of my co-hosts. Yay!
Yes. And my name is Aaron Molina, and you can find me on Twitter at AAMOmusic.
For anyone who doesn't know, Aaron has a history of not being able to say his own Twitter handle correctly, so this is like a really big
and I did
deal. He's had 2 weeks to like stay home and practice though. So
that's all he's done for 2 weeks straight.
Just didn't even left my house.
And I am Emma Fyffe. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Emma Fyffe. Well, on Facebook it's just Emma Fyffe. And if any of you are confused and you're watching us by the birthday cake that is sitting on our Sports Center desk here, it's my birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh, forgot about me. And I'm Alexis Torres. You can find me on all the social media as atorres890.
Nice. So this episode was a lot of fun from beginning to end. Was amazing.
Yes.
I love when we have the foundation challenges and the spotlight challenges. And so this one, I have to say, probably the most fun foundation challenge I've ever seen on Face Off ever.
I absolutely loved it. I mean, it was based all around the Holi Festival, which is part of the Hindu tradition, and basically it's this festival of color. So the foundation challenge, all they were doing was throwing colored powder on their models, and they could not use brushes, there were no prosthetic pieces involved, and they literally could only work with their hands.
I loved it. They had the 7 different colors, and they said you can pick from these, use whatever inspiration grabs you. Cool. They're out on a beach. Wind is going everywhere, so it's just blowing these gorgeous colors all over the place.
I know.
And I love how some people really had a set concept, like Ben was making this beautiful angel of spring, and all these people had these really set, I'm gonna make this phoenix. Adam had one rising from the ashes, and Julian was my favorite because he goes, I don't have a concept, I'm just making pretty things, basically.
I know. Yeah, he's like,
so good.
I'm just gonna see where the color goes with this one, and whatever happens, it's just gonna be fine. I did write down, I loved that Adam's concept was to make like a phoenix rising from the ashes, and it was extremely successful. His model turned out looking absolutely beautiful. However, there was a point during the challenge that like Adam had more red dust on him than his actual model did.
And with the red shirt and the red hair.
Exactly. I mean, he was like, more of a phoenix.
Exactly. I think he should get extra points for being twinsies with his model.
Yes.
Like, that's also a rarity.
I feel like every single time we've seen maybe not the troll one, but most of the time there's usually some sort of red, like from Adam's makeup. So I always feel like he's always a twinsy with his model. I love it. I think it's great.
He draws inspiration from himself, guys.
Hey man, I like it.
And Stephanie wins immunity. She was really worried about it.
She was.
And I love it. I think we have a photo. She looks so happy when she wins.
She did, yeah. And I really liked her makeup a lot. I think that the colors turned out really interesting on it, and it was this nice natural gradient from like the brightness and vibrance of life to like kind of a stony death, because her idea was kind of like the duel between like summer and winter, and she executed it in a very subtle way that I think actually was very successful.
I think it came out great.
Yeah.
And good on you, Stephanie. I feel like she honestly didn't even need immunity for this challenge, though, because she did a great job.
Yeah. I think that her makeup in this challenge was good. It was definitely like not my absolute favorite, but I wouldn't have put her bottom looks. I think she deserved to be safe either way.
Yeah. Which we'll go ahead and we'll dive into the Spotlight Challenge that we had. Love this one. So we have, it's all alien themed because we bring in the Miss Galaxy and, or Miss Universe is our actual Miss Universe, which is really just Miss Earth.
Yeah, this is true. There's nobody else competing from elsewhere in the universe. No. It's literally just humans.
But Miss Venezuela, Gabriella Isler, comes in and she kind of gives everybody her feedback. I know Emma's giggling because Mackenzie has the best response.
Yes. So basically Gabriella Isler comes in and she's like, oh, you know, just remember it's a pageant, it's fun and it's vibrant and I'll, you know, have a great time with it. And Mackenzie's like, yeah, thank you so much.
That's great advice.
Mackenzie was like, stop stealing my spotlight. There's only room for one beautiful woman.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Two of them together, and I'm like, the dresses now.
I know, and I have to say, like, Mackenzie always looks stunning. She, like, dialed it up to, like, a 17.
Okay, good. I'm not the only one that thought of it.
No, she looked unbelievably stunning for this entire episode. The outfits, the hair and makeup, it was all just like out of control.
I just love Mackenzie is just such a core part of this show too. I love looking at all of the looks, including Mackenzie's.
Yes.
I'm like, I have to see everybody's makeup, and by that I mean I want to see what Mackenzie's makeup looks like. But we had this awesome challenge where they would go and they would pick a sash that represented their various galaxies, and then they would create a look based off of that and make it a beautiful pageant queen. So I love incorporating the creature alien with the beauty makeup because it really challenges the contestants on multiple spectrums. And bringing all of that together, they all did a phenomenal job this week, too.
Yeah, I thought all the makeups this week were super creative and fun, and just this episode was just a joy to watch.
And everybody seemed to have, for the most part, everybody seemed to have a really good time making their makeups as well. And the finished look, I think, really reflected that a lot. So, speaking of Stephanie's immunity, let's check out her look. Stephanie, I loved this one. Her Miss Tadpole Galaxy was super cute, and I know that she would have had immunity regardless.
Exactly.
But she did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I thought that the shapes on hers were really, really nice. V did point out in the judging that she thought with a more interesting paint job, it could have been a more interesting makeup. She felt that the paint job was kind of blotchy, which I think there were some flaws with it up close, and I might have chosen some different colors, but the overall shapes of this were really nice, and I think she executed her concept quite well of the tadpole tail, basically, which was reflected both in the cowl at the back of the neck and in this lovely long train that she had. I thought it was cute.
And I wouldn't have thought to do the tadpole tail on the head like that.
No, me neither.
Came across really well. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Logan had a phenomenal look, too, this week.
I loved his.
The Miss Comet Galaxy.
Yeah, looked fantastic.
I would say Logan was probably my favorite out of the whole bunch. I even liked it more than Darla's. I really liked it a lot. It just...
I love how he talks about how he wanted to go from this organization to chaos, and it just really comes across in the look. It definitely reflected what he was going for.
I absolutely agree, because you start with these very like structured forms on the top, and then there just ends up being more and more and more of them, so that it does give that idea of like we started with this structured, calm idea, and then it just kind of spirals out of control. And I loved the like blue jewel thing in the center of the head.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
Ugh. It's just the detail that went into this whole challenge. I absolutely love it. I have to say, though, there was one person who was safe that I really, really think should have been top looks.
I mean, I think this should have been top looks personally.
I wish we could have just had
that. I have to say, like, just to lead into this, the only look I thought should have been safe this week was Stephanie. Yeah. I think the other two safe looks should have been top looks. And I liked Stephanie's makeup. I just didn't like it as much as the makeups that were in top looks and the other ones that were safe. And I think it's just because there was just a next level of like detail involved in Logan's makeup and the next safe makeup.
We had 3 safe and then 3 top and 2 bottom. But I just wish that they could do it less symmetrically when it comes to the numbers of who's going to be what, and more, you really brought it this week. Good job. Even if you don't win, we still want to acknowledge you really turned it up to 10.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I really think Emily should have won. She, in my personal opinion, the next look, Emily's, was phenomenal. And part of that, Pinwheel Galaxy, is because she created this entire look. She did the wig, she did the dress.
That's true.
Yeah. She did
went over the top.
Everything
And
in the same amount of time that everyone else did their look.
Exactly. And I don't know if her model is wearing pantyhose or not, but the fact of the matter is she painted the legs to look like that.
Yeah, she was sitting there, she was just like,
they showed footage of her like just airbrushing the heck out of that model and throwing glitter everywhere. It was funny, I actually had tweeted at Emily about this look and how I loved it, and Stephanie tweeted at the both of us and was like, yeah, you went full on like Toddlers and Tiara Mom on that. It was just like more glitter everywhere.
What's really funny to me is I feel like the dress almost looks like Ben's dress from last week that he was given
totally
for the model challenge. And I feel like she recreated, and we were just raving about that dress that was just part of the challenge. And then Emily goes and creates this, and I'm like, I wanted the dress last week, but now I have to have this dress. It's amazing.
Well, and she made that whole top out of like tubing and the skirt out of what appeared to be tinfoil. I know it's silver fabric, but
still, it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's such a beautiful look. She just did such a good job on it.
And I think for me, some of the reason that I enjoy this look so much, and I see where the judges' criticism was with it, where basically they were critical of the fact that the mouth was recessed on the face, and they felt that took it from pretty to injured. However, the guest judge, who is Darren Franich, who's an editor for Entertainment Weekly, he actually said that he thought this was the only makeup that had more story behind it than this is just a pageant queen. Like, there is something going on with this girl. And I think it's because Emily put so much love into this makeup. Watching her on this episode was just an absolute delight, because you could tell how much fun she was having and how much of that joy just went into creating her makeup, which was just so fun.
She was just giddy the whole time she was making it. She was jumping up and down and clapping, and I just wanted to do the same as I was watching it.
Totally, and once again, going back to my Twitter interaction with some of the contestants earlier today, Julian actually said they only showed about like a fifth of how excited she was about this challenge. So
I loved it.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to the top looks, but I have to say one of the coolest things about this challenge, before we get into the top looks, speaking of Darren Franich, was that the winner got to be featured in Entertainment Weekly. They had their look as a full page spread, and I feel like Entertainment Weekly should have just done a whole issue dedicated to all of these looks, because they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
And
no, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. But I mean, I feel like anytime that Face Off comes up, I feel like the one magazine besides, why am I forgetting it right now? Anyway.
Wizards of the Coast. I don't think that exists anymore.
But anyway, I feel like Entertainment Weekly, every time they have some sort of challenge like this, I feel like they should do a full spread of every single one of the contestants. And I think it would have been a really cool way of doing that, instead of doing it this one time.
Yeah.
Or at least for the finale, at least do a full spread.
Totally, because there were no makeups that I hated this week. I thought everyone really was very creative. The bottom looks were the worst ones, in my opinion, as well, but they were not terrible by any means.
They weren't even bad.
Yeah.
No.
They were still, if I saw that on screen, I would go, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, oh, what makeup artist made that? Which
Absolutely.
has been the case sometimes
Sure.
with makeup in the past. But I almost wonder if because they have the extra incentive with this challenge of your look will be featured in Entertainment Weekly, if that's why the contestants really all brought their A game to this degree. And I almost feel like Face Off, when you see the results, should have some sort of incentive, because it's great to win.
Absolutely.
To have bragging rights.
Yeah.
Totally.
But to have an actual prize that features your work,
Yeah.
I think would be I understand it's a bit much for each challenge,
Well, yeah, I
but to
completely agree.
have something,
Yeah.
some sort of added element.
Now, I may be remembering incorrectly, but in the show, did it seem that they knew about this incentive before they got to the judging stage? Because, like, they didn't meet Darren Franich until they got to the stage. And that was when they announced, I believe, anyway, unless I'm remembering incorrectly, that they would be featured in Entertainment Weekly.
I feel like they
I feel
knew.
like
Yeah.
they mentioned it, but we didn't obviously get into full detail about
Right.
it.
Okay. Great.
I
Either
think-
way, they may have known about it and just not shown it until the judging stage.
That's very
Reality
true.
TV, guys.
Which we have a lot. We find that, especially from talking to the contestants.
Yes.
And things are sometimes shown out of order.
Yes.
And sometimes shown not to the full extent. And
Side note, it's always my favorite in the show when they show one of the contestants say, 10 minutes, guys, and then they clearly flash back to like 3 hours ago, and it makes
Yeah.
it look like they have so much left to do.
yeah, there's no way that everybody's just sitting there stabbing clay for 9 hours. I'm like, these people are very talented, and they didn't just create
Yeah.
something in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. So looking at the top looks this week, Adam, I'm gonna say everybody brought it, but
Oh, yeah.
I loved Adam's look, the Miss Cigar Galaxy, and I almost wish that our picture here showed more of the side view as well.
Yeah. It looks,
Because that was so cool.
it looks like a dragon.
That's what I was thinking.
But
I was like,
in an awesome way, like in a way that works and is still beautiful. And I think that the reason that this is so successful is because Adam did not create a full face for this. He focused on that cowl, which was super challenging, but turned out awesome and interesting. I also really enjoyed the little detail that they shone a light upon during last looks, when Adam was trying to put the spikes in the back of the cowl and they weren't sticking because it was still hot and he needed them to cool off so they would stay. So he used the airbrush gun, just the cool air from it, and like spurted it on where he was attaching the spikes to dry it faster, basically. And it worked out really well. But yeah, and I think if he had done a full face, this could have easily gotten into like scary dragon territory. But since he didn't, it's really quite beautiful. And I mean, he did create some pieces to put on the face, but I mean, this is kind of what we were saying last week with Jamie's makeup, where if she had probably just created a cowl and then done a really intense beauty makeup on the face, a la this beautiful creature, I think that she would not have gone home.
yeah.
I agree fully. And I feel like this, I almost wonder if he kind of took that into account, because you see what happens with the different contestants. You get the judges' feedback, not just for yourself, but for everyone. And the really smart contestants that continue to do better and better and better are the ones that you can tell when they're showing the scenes that are listening to what the judges are saying to the other
Absolutely.
contestants. And they're not thinking, oh no, mine's coming up, or oh, I hope that was a good review. They're saying, what are they saying about these makeups that they haven't really had the chance to fully look at because they've been immersed in their own creations.
Totally.
So I really feel like he's someone to watch throughout this competition, because he incorporates so many things that we see throughout the show in previous episodes. And this look just was so phenomenal. Just the shapes, and they were saying in the critique, these are just shapes that we've not seen. This is a look that we've never seen before. And having something that is incredibly original and unique, but still fits that cigar galaxy with the kind of rough burned aspects, but is still a beauty makeup.
Yeah.
That's a lot to incorporate and to do very successfully. So props to you, man.
Yeah.
I also feel like Julian, this one was
Second favorite for me.
I love it. Miss Whirlpool Galaxy. And I have to point out because he posted something and I laughed out loud by myself and scared my cat. My life's really exciting. He's had 6 top looks and hasn't won. And he had a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio, and I was like, "You are the Leonardo DiCaprio face-off. You are."
That is
amazing. It's just you were just constantly nominated. I laughed out loud because I was like, "That is so.
That's so true.
That is so true. I mean, I was just saying last week.
Now I know why you're my favorite.
I was like, I feel like Julian is doing really well. He's gonna make it really far in this competition. Why hasn't he won anything yet? And it didn't occur to me that he had been top look 6 times.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Wow.
that's insane. It's like always a bridesmaid, never a bride. You're still in the wedding, but it's not yours. I don't know why I got so mean with that. We love you, Julian.
I know, but that analogy makes so much sense, and I loved how sassy you were. So.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought that this look was
adorable.
absolutely phenomenal, and just the colors, the shape, the way that everything was blended, the shapes of this. It definitely encapsulates the Whirlpool Galaxy. You get that aquatic type vibe from it, but without it being overpowering.
Yeah, without it being like a mermaid alien or a fish.
Which I'm so glad he didn't do, because I was
it is a little fish.
I mean,
but
they put a mermaid dress on her, like the style of it, but it works because, and also I like that it's simple. He didn't go over the top with color.
It is really simple, and it turned out just very clean.
Yeah.
And he had his cowl collapse. The foam on it did.
That was insane. They show this giant crater, and the whole time they're talking about beauty makeup is symmetry is so important with a beauty makeup.
Yeah.
And he's freaking out. I would just panic, but that's why I'm not on the show. And there's just this huge indentation, like moon crater in the side when it comes out of the mold. And you go, what is going to happen? Creates this perfect patch. You can't even tell. You can't tell at all that there was any sort of struggle. And
I even forgot that it was even a hole. I just remember that. I was like, oh, wow, yeah, that he really did have that whole section that just fell in.
But we all know Face Off does that, where they're like, oh, we're going to go into panic mode. And then, oh, that's funny. I don't even see your mistake up there.
No, but see, some people, though, I feel like they sometimes, like, they figure out a way to incorporate it, and he didn't. He, like, stuck with his plan, fixed it, and then, like, came.
She looks
You're
absolutely
right.
gorgeous.
Yeah, he did. He ended up creating a foam patch to fix it instead of like, I just got to work with it, because that simply would not work for this challenge. Sometimes that works out and that works to your advantage, but with this one, if he'd gone that direction, he would not have been top looks.
with any sort of scary creature, it seems like those mistakes are happy accidents.
Yeah, like
totally.
killing,
When you're
right?
going, but when you're going for a beauty look, which is funny too, because he even points out that he is not really that experienced with beauty makeup and he hasn't really done it, and Laura comes in to help, and
I mean, look at that.
I would have no idea.
No way. I'm like, oh yeah, your beauty makeup is on point, sir. So I don't know what you're saying.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was just like, wah, wah. It's my birthday. Stop ruining it. But we'll move on to the winner this week was Darla.
I know.
This look, I have to say,
I know. I really
props to
like
Darla.
it.
Because we've been saying we want to see something new, we want to see something unique from her.
She brought it.
That's 100%. This looks like nothing that she's done before.
That's true.
It's gorgeous. I love the hands on it too.
She's got like penguin arms, but it's good.
When I
works.
first saw that, I was like, what is she doing? And then when she started like twirling, so I was like, all right, I see it. All right, you look good.
Also, just going back to the whole thing where we were talking about symmetry, it was actually Laura that brought it up on this episode, that typically things that are symmetrical are more widely considered to be beautiful. And Darla's original concept was asymmetrical. And Laura was like, in her very Laura-like way, you might want to reconsider that, because, you know, like, things that are symmetrical are usually considered to be a little more beautiful.
That was a spot on Laura.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I was like, Laura, when did you come into the studio?
We're so glad that Laura's our guest this week. I mean, I agree 100%. And that's because I've been so wishy-washy about my feelings of them bringing in these coaches and how much the coaches really contribute and what their level of influence should be. This was perfect because she said, it's your call, but keep in mind that this would probably be a better look. And Darla said, you're right. And she took it and she still created her own look from it.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was just, it's perfect. It's such a good...
It looks really great. I love the back of the cowl, too. It was like... It wasn't like scaly exactly, but it looked almost like this gold piece, and there was all this texture and detail in it. It really was a nice makeup. I quite liked this look.
I like this one a lot. I still feel like Emily should have won just because of the amount of work that went into it and the amount of love that went into it.
Yes.
I still feel like Logan should have won. I loved his piece. I fell in love with it. It was just gorgeous.
Logan was my favorite during the foundation challenge too. When he was just like throwing things.
He's like, this will work.
He's like, I lost last time because of you.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I was like, what did he say that was so funny? That was totally it.
I'm so glad that you brought that. Because I forgot.
I love it. This is why we can't be judges on Face Off, is because all of us are like, it's Emily, and you're like, Logan, and then we just come out and we just scream.
Yeah,
that's what
that's all that happens.
I have to say, I feel like this. What were you going to say about Mackenzie?
Mackenzie wins.
Yeah, Mackenzie would just be like, well, there is no winner this week. So we're playing Russian roulette.
Russian roulette.
Oh, yeah, that's
Roulette.
Roulette, yeah.
You got real French with
roulette.
that.
No.
I thought you were saying that we were gonna go Mackenzie. We were gonna be on a mountaintop going, Logan, no, Emily,
and then just push each other off the mountain.
And then we all just
it's a lot.
throw colored body dust at each other.
Yeah, that'd be great. Best
We're
episode
also
ever.
significantly less majestic than Mackenzie, as we have just pointed out.
I know.
But I do have to say, props to Darla.
Yep.
Good job.
Yes.
This one looked great. And I loved Glenn's, when he was judging, said that could be a lead alien in a film. Not just an alien, but a lead alien. And I agree. And we keep going back to every episode, the cinematic quality. And if this came on screen, would you want to know what this character was about to say, what this character was about to do? If I saw that character walk onto any sort of set on screen, I would say, okay, I'm interested.
Totally would.
And so I gotta say, props. Props. Good job. Still think Emily should take it. But we had, unfortunately, a couple bottom looks this week as well. Let's talk about Ben.
Well, I have a lot of things to say about this makeup. And so
Then you should say them.
I'm going to again, I apologize, Ben, but the 3 blue pieces in the middle of the makeup really throws it off for me, because it looks like I went to, again, I'm not gonna hold back, but it looks like you went to a carnival and got that painted on your face.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like
it does kind of.
The color doesn't look like you got it from the makeup studio where they usually work in. It looks like someone took like old water activated paint and put it on top. Like, it looks weird to me. You know what I mean?
It looks alien, but not beauty pageant.
Yes.
It fits one, but not the other.
Like, I feel like if Ben had a child and made an alien and he was incorporating it that way, but still had the same color schemes and stuff, like, it looks weird.
I think, too, that I really agree with the judges on this one, where they said that it looked like something out of, like, a B Japanese alien invasion film.
Didn't think
to
about
me,
that,
this is an illegitimate love child of 2 Dragon Ball Z villains.
Yes!
It looks like Frieza, like color scheme wise, but it also looks like Cell, like shape wise.
Oh my god.
That's so
You
funny.
are so amazing right now.
I was thinking Dragon Ball Z, but I'm like, it doesn't look like Dragon Ball Z,
no,
but
it
no,
does
it does.
look-
Yeah, no, it looks exactly
Yeah.
like that now. I want them to make a Dragon Ball Z movie with this villain. Like, I want that.
I feel like this is like a bad photo too of the model, because the model's just like, I don't want to be here, so I just slapped on lipstick.
I think that brings up a good point, though, Alexis. I don't think that this is a terrible makeup.
No.
It is just not the right makeup for this challenge.
Yes,
No.
I completely agree.
It also looks kind of like a man.
That's what I was thinking.
Is it the jawline?
It's totally the jawline,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't notice that until now. I
It
thought
comes across as very masculine, and for a Miss Andromeda Galaxy.
I mean,
you don't want to make Mr. Androgynous Galaxy. And
I don't judge.
that's kind of where, that's your birthday present from me. You get one pun. I feel like it's a strong look, but it's not for this challenge.
Right.
And it's one, I do like how he had the 4 pieces instead of the 2 coming together.
Absolutely.
Technically, it was a very good look.
Very well executed.
But I definitely agree when the judges said that the texture and color could have brought together a really solid idea, because it was a really good concept.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fully there in the finished product.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But even this one, I don't think is bad. That's the thing.
No,
There's
it's not
just
bad.
no
And also,
bad looks this week.
I feel bad because I feel like everybody had these amazing outfits, and then I feel like they were just like, just throw this on your model, you're fine. She looks like she's wearing a prom dress, and they put like some weird plastic purple stuff on top of her. You know what I mean?
I like the dress. I'd wear
No,
it.
I like the dress underneath it. I was talking about
It's
just
like
the purple
it's like
top.
superhero in a box on top of a prom
Yeah,
gown.
like
Yeah.
you can buy that at Party City, but the dress part underneath looks gorgeous,
Yeah.
and I feel like she should have just wore that without the purple stuff on top. I don't know. I'm being overly picky, but I mean, I like it.
I also don't understand the random bracelet on the left.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I didn't
let's-
even notice
No,
that.
like that was another thing. I was like, so level counter?
Well, and we've talked about this before, how an outfit can really make or break the look. And when you have a look that isn't quite fitting, it's fitting one aspect of it, which is the alien, then make a pageant dress, give a pageant dress to that contestant, because the contestants, with the exception of Emily, who created her own, they're given these looks. They have the influence. But if it's already very alien but not pageant, don't give a dress that's more alien than pageant.
Yeah, that's
right.
probably
That's
what that
gonna
is.
that's
okay.
I feel like that's what set it off. And if it had been a different dress, maybe something that had pulled and really mirrored those looks in the forehead and around the top, I think that would have maybe softened it a bit and made it fit the challenge more, and it would have made the overall look register more what he was going for.
Yeah, because I feel like it's too angular. Because even with Darla's, hers was kind of drapey and very elegant and gorgeous.
Totally,
this is
because
sharp and harsh.
She had such strong shapes in the face, but fortunately she kind of offset that with the spiral at the top of the head, and as you say, with the drapey wardrobe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree that this wardrobe is working against this.
And it's so unfortunate when that happens.
I
And I
know.
feel like that is such a big contribution as to what becomes bottom looks.
Right, yeah.
Whereas last week, for him, it was the opposite. His outfit is what I feel pushed him to top looks.
I completely
100% agree.
And I feel like this one, it really worked against him.
Yeah.
Which was kind of, it hurts me when that happens, because
know.
I feel like it's almost like, and you're going to have that, of course, when the wardrobe department on set is incorporated with the makeup too, but it seems like there's such a disconnect that it doesn't, and the purple, I think, distracts from the blue that he brought in.
Yeah.
It really, unfortunately, makes the makeup more watered down, and it also draws your eye more to the dress and more to the center than to the actual makeup.
Yeah, because I didn't even think about the makeup he incorporated like in the arms, because my eyes go straight to the middle of the forehead and the dress, which again, Ben, I'm not hating on you. I'm just, I'm literally just kind of, it's the dress and everything else that kind of just threw me off. I think
And
you're
the chest
talented.
work is covered.
Exactly.
by the
Yeah,
dress.
I can't even
is.
see it.
So you have a tiny little part of it, and then
Yeah,
part of that's covered by the sash.
it looks blotchy.
Basically, Ben had a lot of good components that just didn't come together.
Yeah.
He had all the puzzle pieces, but they just weren't quite fitting. And when you have that time constraint, sometimes you just can't put the puzzle together. But still, definitely not one of the worst things that we've ever seen on the show. It's still
true.
very good luck.
Yeah.
And now, to break everyone's heart,
I know.
I'm really sad about this.
I'm really sad about this too.
I understand, but I'm really sad about it.
Yeah.
I knew it was gonna happen when they kept showing Kelly.
I know. I was like, this is the most I've ever seen Kelly in an episode.
They
Dear
made it
God.
very Kelly centric, and as soon as she started crying at the beginning
was
and
like,
felt like
this
it
is it.
wasn't gonna work, I went, okay, well, great. thank you, editors of Face Off, for already ripping out my heart before we even get to see what we know you're going to do.
I was talking to Erin about is that I feel like I'm not used to seeing this Kelly. I'm used to seeing her happy and smiley and kind of bubbly and being all wrestly kind of, you know? But it was weird to see her kind of break down like that super quick. And I was like, what's happening?
I do love that they showed the one part that is very Kelly because we were talking about how she kind of does this Hulkamania thing, and I love it.
It's my favorite thing.
But when she and Emily are just back and forth messing with each other in the lab, it's so cute. And I love when they have those interactions and you see more of the contestants because a lot of the technical things that happen while they're making things, as an audience, I don't really know what that means. So I love seeing those kind of personality qualities that they throw in. So now we'll actually talk about the makeup. We've established we love Kelly.
Yes.
She had Miss Sombrero Galaxy, which also, what?
I was going to say, I was like,
but the funniest I thought too was when Kelly is the last to pick her look.
She is.
And she gets the last remaining sash, and Gabriella goes, Kelly, you're the one with the hat, so you get Sombrero Galaxy. And I'm like, no, Kelly picked last, so she gets Sombrero Galaxy. Because nobody knows what that is or wants it.
It's not like we saved Sombrero Galaxy for you because you are wearing a hat. This is not some great honor. It's just like, sorry, girl, you picked last.
Sombrero
you get the one.
is.
If I had gotten this, I don't know how I would have not just gone for a Mexican hat dance.
I just would have made,
that's so funny.
I have no idea. Some sort of pinata model.
My makeup would have looked like the guy on the Tapatio bottle, probably.
I would have been okay with that.
Which I do have to say, I don't really know how this look ties into Miss Sombrero Galaxy.
I was a little lost.
But what do you do with that when they're just like, oh, well, we have one actual galaxy.
Right.
So Ben, enjoy that one. The rest of you, we just pick some nouns.
No, they are all actual galaxies.
Yeah, but the one that is registered that's closest to us is the Andromeda Galaxy.
Yes. Yeah.
People know that.
And the thing was that, this is all of us going, I don't know what we do with the Sombrero Galaxy. Kelly didn't know either. And that was the thing, was she could not latch on to a concept. So she came up with something that she acted enthusiastic about. She probably was somewhat excited about it, but she certainly wasn't as jazzed about this as Emily was about the Pinwheel Galaxy.
Very true. Well, she had started originally by doing multiple eyes. She had these extra eyes that were going up. Yeah.
See, I actually didn't mind it, to be honest. I understood what Anthony was telling her, that it looks kind of arachnid, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. But I'm like, but aren't there kind of arachnid aliens? No, is that just me?
Well, the thing is the suggestion was go more with tentacles than with extra eyes.
Yeah, makes
but
sense.
I don't understand how either of those really fit the Sombrero Galaxy. So if you're passionate about your first idea, that's where I feel we keep going back and forth with the coaches. Is having that added in. I kind of would have rather seen her original look.
And I have to admit, I didn't get a really good look at the quick shot they showed of, basically a telescopic view of the Sombrero Galaxy, which is where she was drawing her inspiration from. Ultimately, that is where the inspiration for all these other things came. But it's you had Adam with Miss Cigar Galaxy, and his looked a little burnt. You had Julian with Miss Whirlpool Galaxy, and it looked a little like a fish in a really good way. And so it's with Sombrero Galaxy, you don't also have a word that you can draw inspiration from for a beauty makeup.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like when you're given that situation, she did the best that she could do with those time constraints, because I feel like if she hadn't had lost that amount of time that she had when she was struggling at the beginning, which we saw with Stephanie last week.
Exactly.
Is that when you have that added heightened time constraint because your original look doesn't really pan out and you're trying to find that concept, it's gonna be a situation where unless you really water down your look, it's gonna be difficult to fully execute. And I feel like she didn't want to water down her look.
No, because she's Kelly. She doesn't do that.
No, she doesn't. She makes these big, extravagant, just. I've still. Her creature haunts my dream.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I just got that out of my head.
To me, is a great example of somebody not being able to adapt when the time constraints start to get away from them, which was very unfortunate because I loved Kelly. I would have loved to see her go further.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing V said, is that there's no beauty makeup. It's just the alien, and I feel like that's both Ben and Kelly in this situation had, where it's more one than the other. And the biggest kind of draw against it was they were saying that it's just too busy and it's too mask-like, and it doesn't really incorporate how Adam does just the cow, and then you have those human-esque elements that bring in the beauty quality. This one, it was a good idea, but it was a good idea that didn't fully come to fruition, unfortunately. And it's just so painful when you know that she's so talented and everything that she's made up to this point is so good. I'm going to say it again. That creature. I'm only doing it now to mess with you, Alexis. But the creature that we saw before, the red with the green dress and just the... it was so amazing. And just seeing her past work, I wish that the judges a lot of times would really have a broader sense of the artist as a whole, instead of just this one look. You had a bad week. So bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye.
It just rips her heart out. So unfortunately,
Bye, Kelly.
Bye, Kelly. We love you. She's so cute.
Look at that face.
It's not the last that we will see of Kelly. As she said, she'll be making her spooky creatures, and I can't wait to see all of them all over the big screen, the small screen, all over the place. We're going to see her everywhere. So I want to dive in real quick to some predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV.
Pretty colors. I love it.
So, with what we've seen this week, who do you guys think is the person to watch? Who do you think?
The person to watch, I think Logan is the person to watch.
This guy, he's on the Logan bandwagon.
I'm also Team Logan or Julian.
Julian, all the way. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And Emily.
And Emily. I gotta vote for Emily too, because I always want to see a girl win.
I love Emily too.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
she's precious.
Adam though, he has just been
consistently on
He's
point.
stepping
it up.
This again is why we can't judge Face Off, because we name all of the contestants and we think all of them should win.
Yes.
But it's so, when you get to this point in the competition, this
is where it gets exciting.
Just make or break it.
Yep.
Who do you think is kind of, from overall, do you think might need to kind of step it up a little bit? Because I know we had said before we thought Darla needed to step it up, and then she did.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Stephanie. I love Stephanie, but and Ben a little bit.
Stephanie and Ben are the two for sure.
I want to see some more stuff from Ben that's more unique as well, because he either knocks it out of the park or it kind of falls flat a little bit, but I love it. So this isn't really news and gossip per se, but before we go, I have to give a big shout out to our YouTube commenters. Dominique Harms, love you. You say nice things about us, and it fills us with all the joy, so thank you for that. And Nessa Bell. I know other people caught this too. We were having our Rick Baker conversation before the show last week, and then I decided to, I didn't decide, I accidentally called Clive Baker repeatedly. So sorry about that, Clive. I know you're definitely watching right now. But Nessa caught it, and then was... And
thank you,
I
Nessa.
was so also nervous because when you make mistakes, the internet can be kind of mean.
No,
but Nessa was so sweet.
She was nice, yeah.
So she said that she loves Face Off. She loves our recaps. Keep them coming. We love you. Keep your comments coming. Everybody, we love hearing from you guys. So please comment on YouTube and definitely tweet us. Use that hashtag ABTV. Face Off. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Check us out on iTunes and SoundCloud. We have hundreds of shows for you guys to check out and listen to. So be sure to search us AfterBuzz TV. find us on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter. Again, I'm Alana Jordan, and my Twitter is creatively Alana Jordan.
You guys can find me on Twitter at AAMO Music or on Instagram _AAMO Music.
You can find me on Twitter at Emma Fyffe, which is also my name.
And you can also find me on all the social media at atorres890.
And everybody should tweet Emma happy birthday
Yes.
because we're so glad you were born. I just love hearing the cheers. I know it's pre-recorded, but it makes me feel like we have a studio audience.
What do you mean? They're right there.
Yeah. Don't you see all these people?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We can't wait to see you right back here next week. We got some super selfies.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.